Hello. So, how is everybody doing? So, you remember I have in my list of videos, I have a video called Lawlessness in America. It's actually divided into two parts. The first part contains the bulk of whatever the content is, and the second part is just the ending. So, I would recommend to you that you listen to that video before you go on to listen to this video. In that video, I talked to you about a divorce case, a very strange divorce case. That the both the husband and wife in that divorce case are Indian citizens who were living in India and had no status to go into to America, and still that case was fought in America, and the judiciary of America, a lot of judges over there, they just tried to turn close their eyes and just ignore it and let the case, because they couldn't say directly, as I said in that video, that if they directly said that such a divorce case is okay over here, the world will laugh at them. It will become a precedent. There will be thousands and thousands of, we have 1.3 billion people in India. Like, we all will start going and fighting the divorce cases over there. So they didn't say it directly, but they indirectly tried uh, to give credibility to that divorce. And then there was this one judge. I named that judge over there. His name was Christopher Brasher, who did the dirty act. He just didn't talk about the jurisdiction, uh, and just tried to bulldoze his way. Even at one point, having the sheriff's point gun at a little child to separate him from his father. So that's kind of the summary of that thing. And I also pointed to you that it's not like I'm just grieving my own case over here. There is a bigger picture to it, and but I did not tell you what that bigger picture is. And I also promised you that it ties to you as a person watching this video. Why should you be interested in listening to my story, or even listening to what good or bad things are going in America? It ties to you. So I promised you that, and I left it over there, that how it ties to you. What I missed in that video is something very important, and I want to point it out to you. I highlighted the bad side of America. I told you that there are a lot of judges over there. I actually said the whole judiciary, and I didn't mean the whole judiciary. There are good people in judiciary, but a lot of people are bad over there. A lot of judges are bad, and I gave the examples. District Judge Thomas Thrash. There is another judge called Sands. Forgetting his first name. He is in Middle District of Georgia. Fulton County Judge Christopher Brasher. They take the law book and then they throw it out of the window, and then they do whatever they want to. And again, the cases that are there before these judges, I said, for the Fulton County judge, it was 2015 CV. I'm forgetting the name of that court case. 322. No. It is there. The case number is there over there in that video. So you may want to check that out over there. So what I missed in that video is that yes, there are some black sheep over here. There are some bad people over there in America, but there are a lot of good people. And in actuality, I've lived there for close to 20 years. I have seen the length and breadth of the American society. Even in the case of judiciary, I have interacted with a whole bunch of clerks that are there who take the docket and docket my filings and all. And most of them, 90% of them, have been very helpful, very cooperative, very understanding. They have pushed the envelope of professionalism to help me as much as possible. So America is not a bad country. Please don't get me wrong. It's a great country. People not just care about themselves, they care about their society, and they care about the world at large. So Americans are very good people, but they are being exploited by some very vested interest, like the judges who hurt me. It's not that I was a foreigner, so therefore they hurt me. They hurt their own people more. One of the worst possible situations of any community in the world is of white Americans. You will be shocked to hear this. What a white American man goes through in America is horrendous at the hands of its own judiciary, at the hands of its own sometimes administrative forces. But my experience has been primarily with the judiciary. So I have a friend called David Bibout. He's an army veteran actually. He spent his life in an effort to defend the American nation. And if I tell you his story, it'll give you goosebumps. Poor guy, his son was taken away from him, like my son was taken away, white American, and he wanted to spend his Christmas with his only left family, who was his brother. He went to meet his brother. His brother had some mental challenge, so he went to meet his brother. He, I think, exceeded a time a little. I don't know exactly what happened over there, but his, the security over there, his name was again Michael or something. It's all he sent me all the information. That guy held his head and banged it against the metal chair, and he sent me pictures with all that was there on his face, as far as the hurt from that attack by that security person. And now that poor veteran is being charged with kidnapping his own brother. So, and right now I think he's in the prison. He's an army veteran, and he's not the only army veteran to be going through all this. Army people have a lot of money because they try to secure America. So when they retire, they get a lot of money from the American government, and then there are these bad people who are running after their money and somehow by hook or crook take that money. And same thing is happening to my friend David Bibout. So as I said, I did not mention that in the video, but I want to point it out to you that America is a great nation. It has the ability, and it has demonstrated over the course of our history that it can change the course of the history of human civilization. They are very hardworking people, but then there are bad people also over there which we are not aware of. We just outside the America, we think America, American judges in America will be very fair. They would be doing things very honestly. No. It doesn't happen like that. The corruption that is there in our countries, we think, oh, America is a very clean country. The level at which they operate and the corruption at which is there in this great country is very sad, and it's extraordinary. So I did want to take time to point out the good and the bad, and the lot of good and the little bad, and put things in perspective. Don't just start going and cursing your country. Oh, my country is no. And I have told you, I've given you this example of this divorce case, and also I'm going to tell you another case in this video, and then finally I will also the big thing, that why is this happening? Why would everybody be out against me? Just a simple Indian guy, not very big. I'm not intimidating or anything. Why the whole American judiciary is after me and my son, trying to separate us from each other, not listening to their own laws, their own statutes, their own constitution, and just out there to get me? Why would they do that? Why would they go after David Bidout? There is a reason for that, and I will reveal that reason. And how it ties to you, how is it relevant to you, I don't think so I will tell you that in this video, but that will be there in the third part of my the third video in this series. So in this video I'm going to talk to you about this case again in Fulton County, Georgia. The case is 2019 CV 722324. Again, the case is 2019 CV 722324. There are filings over here. You can go, these are public filings, anybody can go and access them. What has happened in this public filings is that there is a mother. There is a mother who is filing a case against her own son to take the property away from the son. And the judge our very good old Mr. Christopher Brasher is supporting the mother, trying to take away this property from her own minor son. It's just a shocking case. The son is not represented. The property is in the name of the trust, and the son is the beneficiary of the trust. There are two other beneficiaries, UNICEF, and there is an orphanage. The three beneficiaries are not at all represented. I have a document that shows that the trust is not represented. The judge went ahead and have made a ruling against the child, and for the mother without representing the child. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in judicial circles. If you're not aware of law, you should know that even if you have a terrorist, you will, if the terrorist is not able to defend himself, you will actually provide a lawyer for that terrorist to help him defend. Even if you catch the terrorist red-handed, in the court of law, he has to be proven beyond reasonable doubt that this person actually did what is claimed by the government that he did, and to defend himself, he's provided a lawyer. This minor child who was being attacked by his own mother was not given a lawyer, was not given any representation, and his property was taken away by Christopher Brasher. Case number 2019322724 in Fulton County, Georgia. Other improper things that happened in this case was that the case was moved from the state judiciary to the federal judiciary. When the case is removed from the state judiciary to the federal judiciary, the state judiciary cannot do anything till the case comes back to the state judiciary. However, while the case was still with the federal judiciary, this judge Christopher Brasher made a ruling, and he is now hurtling his way forward to give credibility to that ruling. He had no jurisdiction. Because the case was with the federal judiciary at that point. But he is hurtling his way forward. He's doing, because he has the pen, he can sign whatever he wants to, and he does sign whatever he wants to. Like law, constitution, statute. He just throws everything out of the window and he does what he wants to do. And this case is a testimony to that. And it's not some third world country. It's happening in America. Fulton County, Georgia, Judge Christopher Brasher. Another wrong thing that happened is that the federal judiciary dismissed the case. So they said that, plaintiff Tanya Singh Dikshit, defendant, the trust, and me, the federal judiciary dismissed it, and now this Christopher Brasher is trying to still give credibility to this judgment. So, as I said, strange things, but I also pointed this out to you in my last video, that I'm not cribbing just because bad things happen to me. I also said it may sound very callous. I, as an individual, in the bigger scheme of things, do not matter. It is the preservation of the society which matters. If hurting me helps the society, well, yes, it is okay to hurt me. And I gave you this very relevant example with which all of you will empathize, that when there is war between two countries, the young men of these countries go and fight and sacrifice their lives for the betterment of the whole society. So there are times when individuals have to make sacrifices for the community, for the society, for the nation. So it's not just me who's being hurt, it is it's a bigger thing that is happening over here, and that is why I'm bringing this all in front of you. So these two things, one is the divorce case and one is this property case, are just very few examples of how American citizens are treated by their own judiciary. And now the question arises, why would American judiciary treat its own citizens to their detriment, to their disadvantage, not taking care of the laws that are there framed by the legislature of America? Why is the American judiciary ignoring their own laws to the disadvantage of its own citizens? What do these judges get out of it? The answer is always in the money. I will give you example with my own case. Lawyer Gregory Golden is charging my wife $420 per hour to fight the divorce case. Till about 2017, my wife's party had given him about $65,000 to fight the case, and it has been 4 more years after that, about 3.5 more years after that. So they have paid more to that lawyer. So this one lawyer is earning about $100,000 to $150,000 from one family. So you can imagine the amount of, and then he has about 10 or 15 cases. He sends, whenever he applies for a leave, it is required that he sends a leave document to all the judges. So he sends me also a leave document, and he tells me all the cases that he is fighting, and he has about 10 to 15 cases. So you can imagine how much earning he's doing. This man is doing $420 per hour. If he's working for, let's just say, 30 hours, so about $12,000, right? $400, about $12,000 in a week. He's earning about $12,000 in a week, and then he for a month about $50,000. So you can imagine the amount of earning that this person is doing every year, $500,000. And I'm being on the conservative side. I'm not even having him work for 40 hours. So you can understand that there is a lot of money involved. He obviously doesn't keep all the money for himself. Some of the money goes to different places to help him win the cases, and that is why the American judiciary works against its own citizens, to particularly in this family law kind of an arena, in the divorces kind of an arena areas, to get this money. Like I told you, like my friend David Bibout, he is he is getting a lot of money from the American government, and they are and he is the American judiciary is somehow distributing this money, taking the money away from my friend David Bibout. So one thing that I want to bring to your attention is that American society, very good society, very good people, some bad judges trying to dismantle the American family system. Why? They're trying to dismantle the American family system so that to get the money from breaking the families, gets the money, and the person is just engaged in his own life. If you take a child away from a father or a child away from the mother, it's not that they are favoring women. It is not, there's a general perception, oh, nowadays the women are getting upper hand, people are favoring them, the judiciary is favoring them. It's not that they are favoring them. The society works in the bad people work in a particular way to go with the flow to make money. So empowerment of women is a very good cause. Obviously, if women, or for that matter even men, if anybody is oppressed, it is not good for the society. So ending the oppression of women is a very good thing. However, what happens is that in this blind pursuit to help or to empower the women, the children are disadvantaged. And because if the judge acts against the woman and gives the child to the father, then the whole society will be up in arms that, hey, you have hurt a mother. So just to make things easier for himself, what he does is, he, not out of any sympathy for the woman, but because it is easier for him, and he keeps on lawyers like Gregory Golden, they keep on making money by breaking the families, and he and the judges get their share out of it. To make it easy, palatable, and without making a big noise about it, what they do is that they hurt the men and empower and favor the woman in contravention of the laws and the constitution. So use a good cause and get bad money out of it, is the way this system is working. Okay, so again, in a summary, I have given you two cases. One is the divorce case, which is in the first video, and I told you that this divorce case has, the American judiciary has absolutely zero jurisdiction about this divorce case, because it is between two foreigners who were living in their own country and who had no status to come to America. So that is why it is without jurisdiction. But still, the American judiciary, or a lot of judges in American in Georgia, both federal and state, they close their eyes to this lack of jurisdiction divorce case. The second one is this property case, in which a mother is having a case against her own son, minor son, child, and the judges are helping, or at least till this point, one or two judges are helping the mother get the property from the child without giving any representation to the child, and against the laws and the procedure, both the procedural and the substantive laws that are there. So these are just two examples of thousands and thousands and thousands of examples in which the laws are set aside and decisions are given not on the basis of law but on other considerations. What that other consideration is? That other consideration is the money consideration, and to get the money you try to work in the direction of least opposition. So you help the women, because the society right now is that, oh, women have been oppressed throughout the ages. So when the judges act in the favor of these women, not out of any sympathy for them, but because it is easier, the society is quiet and they get the money very easily. So that is why this is done, and I'm okay with the men getting hurt, but what happens in the process is that the child is torn apart from either their mother or their father, most of the times the father. And when this happens, the child grows up with you can imagine if one of the parent is taken away from the child, and he or she is put in so much of stress, what will have several social parameters, and these are very well hidden facts that are not there in your it's not brought out. These facts are not brought out in the world. There are a lot of problems with the American society, and again, I think I'm going a little over time, so what I'll do is I will end this video over here. But a lot of these stories are there in this book called Punished for Being a Father. It is available online. Try to read it. The first part is the story, and the second part is how the American society is being adversely affected by this menace. So as I said, it's not in the most organized of forms, but I'm just trying to make the first go, and then I will keep on improving this thing so that a common person understands what I'm trying to say more and more and more better. So again, thank you very much for listening to this video, and hopefully I will be able to communicate to you. In the third video, I'll communicate to you how you can safeguard yourself in the midst of this governmental interference.